All over the these are the sort of relationships that evolve as diverse as they sound.
People stop asking stupid questions.
So
You heard first from Kin Shadow.
another question for Chris.
It'll be like you get the Time Warner survey, and like after you've like left the nav point, you like get a phone call. It'll be like, "Hi, we'd like to do a survey. How was your experience?" on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the civility of the pirate? Did he respect your family?
Did he use any derogatory language?
Yeah.
You have word fusion.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to recommend this pirate?
This space lane to another trader.
Have a bumper sticker on the back. This number over pirating you.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Rex.
Oh, yeah, that was
I've said that I've been.
was referencing the contract.
Okay, I was just curious because they're like, that's why they had to destroy the ship in Wing Commander 3. It's like, because it was an awesome game. Deal with it.
That's exactly why.
Deal with it.
So,
Part of my challenge.
Chris, here's another question from chat. Is there any movie or game that you've seen that you wished you could have been a part of?
Okay, so say that again. Any?
If there has there been a movie or a game that you've seen and wished you could have been a part of?
Okay, so movie-wise, when I was young, my fantasy was to make Lord of the Rings, and I always figured it was like way too expensive. But if I ever like managed to inherit $100 million, this was in like the early '80s, right? So I was like, oh, I'd make the Lord of the Rings. So that would be on the film side because I think the actual Lord of the Rings films are great. The Hobbit not so great, but the actual Lord of the Rings ones are great. And then on the game side, I mean, I have to say that I really like the Naughty Dog. The Last of Us is brilliant. I mean, I've sort of put it to a side because I don't want to have other things to do, obviously. That and what they did with the Uncharted series, I think, like in terms of sort of kind of cinematic narrative in a video game, I think they've been doing the best stuff recently. But there's a bunch of other stuff I like. I mean, I love Demon's Souls, which I talk a lot about, just because I like the old school hardcore. It's not necessarily easy on time. And then Battlefield, I think, is like great, especially like Battlefield, like Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, all was pretty spectacular in terms of the tech and kind of the gameplay.
Yeah.
My spam.
Another kind of pseudo amalgamation of questions from chat. Will we be able to have guild, squadron, clan run factories or other assets that are property of the corporation or anything like that?
Didn't we just have this question? And when I like,
We had it. This is the
Yeah.
Did we get that one earlier?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, we weren't in here.
Oh, I wasn't
It's been
here.
answered.
Okay,
Sorry.
never mind.
asked, and I said yes. Someone else asked that before. I said yes. French May asked me. That was yes.
Dude, I was getting drunk in the other room.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's not your fault. It's their fault for not paying
Come on, chat
Chat
roll.
roll.
Come on.
Just have a giant list of questions like, no, marked off, no, marked off.
next time.
There are a lot of rooms here where cool stuff is happening. We have an excuse not
Yeah,
to.
okay. Well, it's a bit better if that was
Essence is correct.
piling on, going.
Can we be best friends?
Be the rest of the friend.
Got it.
Someone wants to be best friends? I'll be best friends.
No, he wants to be best friends with Chris.
Oh.
Oh, they want
Okay,
some person.
Sleep is for the
Some people want to use the Starfarer for CNC. I don't know why.
Every time I hear CNC, I think Command and Conquer.
I think Music Factory.
I think close combat.
This CNC
Close
supposed to.
combat. Now that's a
Get you
pretty
good
game,
games.
man. Bridge Too Far was the best out of them.
Close combat.
Yeah.
That must be really old because I have no idea what you're
Well,
talking
it's
about.
not like super old, but I mean, it's definitely been a minute.
Late night.
So,
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I think this question's probably been answered before, but people keep asking it. If you have multiple packages in your account that include a ship and a game, is there a way to separate the game and the ship
Melted.
aside from melting?
So I think this was a bit of a debate. So we haven't 100% made a proper decision, but I'm inclined to say that you need a game package to have a character in the game. So if you've got like 4 packages, that will allow you to have up to 4 characters. You don't need to play 4 characters, but if you wanted to have 4 characters, you would literally have to have 4 packages. And so theoretically, you could maybe take some of the assets and all give them to one of your characters, and the other one has a more stripped down thing. But I don't really see the point of starting a game where you don't have a ship. I mean, you kind of need a ship, and you need a bit of money in your pocket to actually do anything in the game. So it seems to me if you just like gifted someone a game without the ship and without money, there's not much you could do.
Isn't that what the game after release comes with, though?
What do you mean?
So, I mean, what does the game come with if you buy a box copy after its release? Does it come with an Aurora?
Probably not going to be selling box covers, but basically you get a ship, you get some credits, and the game basically is you need all those 3 things to play. So if I like bought a bunch of games and like I just basically stripped everything out of them, which I think there's a few number of people that are doing that, and I just said, here's the game. Like, what are you going to do?
I think he means like in 3 years when I go to Best Buy and I pick up a copy of Star Citizen, I install it, fire it up.
It starts with a ship. You got to have cash. Yeah, I mean, basically the minimum to actually play the game is you got to have a ship and you got to have a little bit of cash in your pocket because you got to at least pay for, whatever landing fees, takeoff. Not a lot, but you need to buy some goods to start it. You need basically to be staked. So you need the ship. You need a ship and a little bit of money.
All right, you guys can correct me. For some reason, I thought the common conceit was that you start with nothing and then you either take out a loan or you do the Squadron 42 campaign or you try to do work on the back of an NPC ship or something like that until you get the money together to pick up that first Aurora.
Well, no, the way it would work is if you just bought the base game, you would essentially, you could do the Squadron 42 campaign and muster out, and maybe that would give you a bonus going out, but you could also just shortcut through that and say, I don't want to do the military, and you would be starting with an Aurora and a little bit of money in your pocket, i.e., whatever, you inherited it, your uncle gave it to you, whatever, that kind of thing. So it's kind of the same as Privateer, when you started with like a little Tarsus.
Or your Starfleet or...
Right.
But that doesn't. But either way, do you need a ship, I guess, to start out with, though? I mean, if you're getting money out of Squadron